Hi guys, looks a bit wild, but this is my project pan. As always, I will do it so I hopefully don't forget anything. I will do it in the way I do my makeup. So first things first, I did my skincare, I put a primer on. And I used, until recently, I used this one here, the Lacura, which is Aldi brand Vita Base Moisturizing Primer, which is basically a copy of the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Used a couple of times, actually quite good progress, but then the last, I would say 10 days, it got really warm here in the UK, and I found that a little bit too heavy. So what I switched over to, and also because the sun came out, I switched over to this one. This one was like a Yes Style order from last year, which is the Artless Glow Base. SPF 50, really like it, and I marked it now today. We're here. I used it already like for the last 10 days, I would say. It's really lovely. It's very thin, and it reminds me a little bit from the texture of was it Estee Lauder primer I quite like, but it's just really expensive. But yeah, it's really nice, and it's like has a bit of a glow to it. I don't know if you can see that through the camera. So I wouldn't like that just on my face, although it's not too bad actually. Maybe a little bit like the Victoria Beckham stuff. That primer stuff also has a little bit of glow in it, but overall it's really nice. And what I really love on it is the SPF 50, so that's just great. So I really like this one, and my makeup was really nice over it, so I'm looking forward to continue using that one. I added it in literally just randomly because I thought, okay, I need one of my more sunscreen primers, and a bit thinner one, and this one was a really good choice. I'm really happy with that one. I actually really like it. Then after I will leave this one on Project Pan, by the way, because if it cools down again, which I guess it will here in the UK, I will switch back to that. After primer, I use foundation. I use the Clinique Even Better Clinical foundation at the moment. I actually don't know if they still have that one. I saw a similar one recently from Clinique, but it looked very different. And last month we were here, and now we are done here, so expected progress, to be honest. This one has quite good coverage, and has SPF 20 as well, which is great. I don't know why they call it a serum foundation, because I find like this is not a serum foundation. This is actually quite a foundation because serum foundation always makes me think should be a bit more light coverage, but yeah, that's it. And I used, however, my concealer a little bit more this month. This is the Lacura brightening, what's it called, brightening concealer, which is funnily a copy of the Clinique one, as you can see. This is shade 2, which is really light though, and I like it. Last month we were here, now we are down here. This one I don't use consistently, but every now and then I use it, and I really like this one, and I have backups of that one. After that I use setting powder. Now I had this one, which, oh gosh, so basically there was just a tiny rim left of the Kevyn Aucoin powder, like on the outside. So I thought, okay, it needs to be repressed. Let me repress it. Repressed it with I don't know if I still the packaging here. Oh yeah, there it is. I repressed it with a Kiko Milano powder, which is this one, which was the Dolce Vita Powder Foundation SPF 50. Repressed it, and I used it, I think, for nearly 2 weeks, and then I smashed it down on the floor. It shattered. I'm so annoyed by it, and I didn't really like it anyway. I didn't like any of the powders, so I decided, you know what, I will not repress this again. I will just chuck this. I will chuck the mess. I will just chuck the whole mess. Actually, I just remembered I had another primer in my... One sec. Okay, I had another primer in my project pan, and I completely forgot about it because I emptied it literally a week after. This was my go-to thin primer recently, when I didn't want to use the face base because it's quite thick, and it's the Estee Lauder Daywear. This one I actually quite like. It's skincare. It was quite a small sample size. It's like, it literally, the cream looks like bluish whitish when it comes out, but then it has like pigment pearls. I don't know if you can see it here on the rim. So it actually has some pigment to it. And it looked a bit orange on my face though, so I only could use it as a primer. But I like the skincare ingredients in it, but I didn't like the shade of it, and there is only this one shade. But yeah, I actually finished this one up, and it has only SPF 15, which wasn't really good. But yeah, that's finished up actually. So I wanted to mention that. Now, powder. Because I smashed the powder, I then started to use this one here. First, I tried a few different powders for my collection, but then I settled on this one because I need to start using my loose powders more. This is the transparent It's from Flower Nose, as you can see. Really nice packaging. What I quite like on this one, first I thought, okay, I need to cut the mesh out because it basically has like a mesh here. Here you can even see a tiny little hole where I went with my scissors in. But when I went with my scissors and I moved it, I realized, oh, actually, I can take that out quite easily. So let me actually tap it down, because that mesh is so thick. It's actually double layer mesh. But actually I can reach the powder much more easily like this, and I use my big brush to get into it because the mesh I found was a bit too thick. I use, that's a Rephr brush at the moment. It's the Rephr 22, which I quite like for powder. And also use it for my bronzer, as you can see. And yeah, so I thought, you know what, I will take one of my loose powders, and that's what I settled on. So I settled on this one. I really like it. It's a really nice powder. It's a bit brightening on me, so I have to be careful not to use with it, but it's very nice. It's sitting very nicely on the skin. It's barely detectable. So I really like this, and I'll put this in my project pan. A loose powder this time. Now, after loose powder, I then use my bronzer. This is the Ted Baker, which I think doesn't exist anymore, the Sunrise bronzer. Like the brand, I think the Beauty brand doesn't exist anymore. I feel more and more the middle bar is not as hard pressed as the outside bar. Because this really wears down, but the outside bars don't, and I swirl the brush all over. I even started now to go like sidewards to try to get a bit more usage out of it. But yeah, I like it as a bronzer still, and I will continue using it. But it doesn't look like progress, but I use it. So I use it nearly every single day. After bronzer, I go in with blush, and that's my Clio Prism blush. It's like a Korean brand. It's a baked chili formula. Really, really like this one. Let me actually swatch it. I haven't swatched it in a while. There we go. Really like it. And because it's like a baked chili formula, they go on quite nicely. So I will continue using this. I can see it's wearing down. It's had really like a nice wave design. It's wearing down in the middle, but you don't need much of it, and it sits quite nicely on the skin. This is the shade 01 Muted Pink. But yeah, really like this one, and will continue using it. Then I use my highlighter, and this is the Givenchy Ton Couture Shimmer Powder 01 Shimmery Pink. I thought I would have hit pan by now, because I felt like this one, the first months I used it in January, wore down so much, but it seems to have slowed down to wear down, but I still use it on a daily basis, and I really, actually let me swatch it, and I really like it. It's a really nice highlighter. It's very, it's nice and shiny. It's not too much though, in a kind of sparkly way, which I don't like. So it looks quite nice, like even in a professional setting when I go to work. And yeah, I love it. It's such a nice highlighter. Really, really like using that one. After all of that, before I do my eyes, actually use setting spray. I love this one. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. I'm not 100% sure if it's this or if it's my primer change, but I think it's actually this. Every time I use this one, my face just lasts so well during the day. It looks so good, even in the evening, and I really enjoy using this one. The mister on this one is actually also not too bad. It's not the best mister, but it's actually a nice mister. I also finished a setting spray. There was not much left in this one. This one was it wasn't actually the Juicy set from Anastasia, but there was like an Aldi spray in there. And to be honest, I think I forgot to mark it last month. It was like down here. And I really made sure at the beginning of the month I use it up. There was an Aldi setting spray in there. It was the Charlotte Tilbury copy Aldi made. And I filled it in there because the sprayer from Aldi was just awful. So I had it in this one, which is quite a nice sparkly bottle, by the way. So I finished this one up. And this one is really known now, the Milk Makeup one. So I will add a new spray in. And you know what? It's my last face setting spray. I do have one other, actually 1.5 face sprays, but they're like these glitter sprays, which I think they don't really count as setting sprays. So this is my very last one, so I might have to have a go and look if I want a new one. Although I shouldn't go too wild because I don't go through them a lot after summer. But yeah, I will add the Tatcha one in, the Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. This is a brand new bottle. It's full. It's like a milky spray, as you can see. I like Tatcha as a brand, but I also think they're completely overpriced for what they are. But it's nice. It's a glass bottle and it's only 40 ml. So I'm really wondering how long this will last me. I mean, the milk one, how much was that? 50 ml. So let's see. The milk one is like 2.5 months, it looks like, usage. So hopefully this is at least 2 months of usage, which would be nice. Yeah. Oops. No, all my stuff is falling over. So yeah, we add the Tatcha one in. we also leave the milk in, and this one is gone and will be decluttered. Now, then, after setting spray, I do my eyes. Eyes, I still use both palettes. I use the Dior one. You can see a little bit of a dip here, bit here. This is the 5 Couture Tutu. I'm okay with this. It's not my most favorite. I really like this shade and this shade. The rest I don't really care about. But I thought, you know what, I have it, I'll use it. And this one was like repressed shadows, where I hit pan on one of them last month already. This one is an LOV cosmetic, which has a really big dip. I would have actually thought I hit pan on that one. This one I would say I use 80% of the time, and this one I use 20% of the time. But I still like my setup at the moment, how it is with these two palettes. I go a bit more muted or a bit more sparkly, or sometimes muted and a bit of sparkle on top. I like it, and I will continue doing it like that. Now, I had a black eyeliner from Estee Lauder in my project pan, which was completely empty now. I don't know what that is in there. I feel like this might be from, because it's glue or something, because the other side I still have some product left. This was like to highlight your waterline basically, but I realized it's actually really good tiny spot concealer, so I will continue using it, this one, and I will leave it in there. But because that was, the black one was empty, I added a new one in now, which is just like 3 days ago. Estee Lauder Double Wear 24-hour waterproof gel eye pencil. I really like this one. This is a new one. I have 2 of them actually. They were like with the Estee Lauder packs. I don't think they're full size. They're a bit shorter. But I will use them. And this is, how much is this? This is 01 Onyx. Does it say how much is in there? No, it doesn't. I'm wondering if it doesn't say it because it was like in like packs from Estee Lauder and not like as a single sold one. So that's that. This one I haven't used as much. I sometimes use it as a topper when I use the black eyeliner. This is the She Glam Chroma Zone. This is like a multi-chrome one. It's quite nice. I like it. But to be honest, with stuff like this, you see it, but I don't think anyone else sees it. We're up here, by the way. Other people don't really see that. I sometimes use it, but it's more like for me than for anyone else. Eyebrow pencil. Oh my gosh, that one from Rosses, and I have a refill for that one. I'm so annoyed because the lids now always fall off. This is what's left. Mind you, I think it was that long, but that's like, we're 1.5 years in of using that one. So I probably have like another 3-4 months left minimum with this one. I don't do a very strong eyebrow, but I do use it on a daily basis, and I do use it. So it's just like a forever product, it seems. What else do I use for the eyes? This one I haven't used at all, but I leave in. It's from Flower Nose. This is like the brown shade when I don't feel like I want to go for black eyeliner, a bit more muted, but mainly at the moment I like to use the black one, so that's fine. Then for eyelashes, I still use this one, Iconic London mascara. It's not bad. It's not the best mascara I ever had, but it's alright, and I will continue using it. And last step in my makeup, actually second to last step, lips. I still use these 2 lip liners from Aldi. The one I love the color, the one I love the formulation. I actually need to sharpen one of them. I think one of them was Kylie dupe, and the other one maybe also a Kylie dupe or Armani dupe. I can't remember. I like them. This one has such a good formulation. It's just so soft. It feels like a tiny little lipstick in there. And then this one is just a bit harsher, but I prefer the shade of this one. For lips, I had a lipstick in my project pan. I don't know where it is. It was one of my Estee Lauder lipsticks, and I need to find it. I don't know where it is at the moment. I used mainly this month because I couldn't find the other one. I used the Maybelline. This is, I really like this one. It's the Hyaluronic Acid Lifter Gloss. We were last month here. I put it down earlier and slapped it a few times down. We're down here. I didn't mark it yet. We're literally down here. I would say maybe another week or 2, but you can see there's not much left. I really like this one though, so much. It disappeared on me for a few days this month, and I pulled another one out, but it's from Aldi La Croix, the Gloss Boss, and look how much that wore down. I'll not put in my project pan yet. I finished this one actually, one of these ones before from Aldi. So you know what, maybe I'm in my lip gloss era at the moment, but I like using it and good progress, so happy with that. And the last step is perfume. So with perfumes, I use two at the moment. This is from Marks & Spencer's own brand. This is the Velvet Amber. Not my favorite, but okay. And this one is the, I don't know what, DS and Durga. This one is nearly done. We're literally, I tried to mark it earlier, but then I wiped the mark away by accident. It's down here. And the M&S one, we're now down here. I will not put a new perfume in just yet. If I finish both of them before the end of the month, I will basically try some other perfumes in my collection to see what I want to empty next, because we're going slowly into the summer season here and it's getting quite warm and I just want to see what I want to use actually for the weather. But yeah, that's it. See you next time. Bye.